Thanks, Minister. And I have 4 questions for you. The first issue I want to raise, and it's an issue that I'm coming back to there, raised with you a number of weeks ago, is in regard to the health and safety in the food processing plants. I particularly want to raise with you the issue at Rossdara Meats, the plants in Edenderry and in Rossgray. And I've had complaints from both. The worst scenario is in the case of the Rossgray one, where it's had an outbreak of COVID. And we want to keep the factories open, and we've been very, very clear about this. That factory, there's around 350 workers on the factory floor. There was up to 140 of those out sick throughout last week. There was 120 tested positive. In the first case, I'm informed, and I checked again today, showed up over a month ago. Workers had to battle with management to get measures put in place, any kind of measures, but they're still being refused the 2-metre distancing on the factory floor. There's congregations, there isn't separation in the locker rooms or in the washrooms. And, the situation has improved regarding PPEs, which are now there, but that pandemic was allowed spread within that factory. That should not happen, and there wasn't proper instructions issued as well to workers who are not English speaking or English isn't their first language. So I would want you to address that. What's being done in terms of inspections, what inspections are being carried out, who are they being carried out by, and what's being done to make sure that these industries keep going. It's very, very important that we keep those jobs going and that they're safe, the workers are safe and the food coming out of them is safe. I also want to ask you about the beef sector. We've had a situation, I don't want to rehearse, you know where the beef sector is as well as I do. But the aid package announced in the EU is literally a drop in the ocean. €8 per farmer across the EU, that's what it works out at. I welcome the fact that you're front-loading payments, direct payments. That's a welcome move and that's a positive move forward. But we want you to go back to the European Commission and to get a better deal. I want to ask you as well around beef imports into the EU. We still have that happening. Have you spoken to I've asked you to do this before, to speak to other agricultural ministers regarding this, to get an alliance that, we have plenty of beef here in the sector here, within Europe and within Ireland we have a huge amount of it that we can get onto the supermarket shelves. I want to ask you in relation to the fishing industry. There's a particular problem, with restaurants closed across continental Europe and there's a drop-off in Irish exports. Now, what we're proposing is that quotas could be increased for herring in the North East to help fishermen in that area. Has the Minister any plans in that area? And also the issue of, you alluded to it, about getting wet counters open. There's a demand for fish, but you can't get it in most supermarkets. So I know that you're doing some work on that. You might just give me an answer on that as well. And I'll let you I'll stop at that, John Corley.
Minute and a half, Minister.
I just wouldn't like the message to go out, because I don't think it's true, and I'm not sure if Deputy Stanley meant this, but that by either commission or omission that factories allowed COVID-19 to spread. All I can say is that's not the information available to our department, and we have staff in those departments, and we have contracted temporary veterinary inspectors in those departments, and I want to say that that is certainly not the case, as is the information available to me. Look, in all of this, public health is the primary concern. The processing of meat is important, but it is a secondary concern to the primacy of the health of the people working those plants. And social distancing, hand washing etiquette, perspex screens, reduced throughput, provision of PPE, all of these have been part of the responses that the industry has been proactive with regard to. And were part of the negotiations that we had early on with all of the stakeholders in terms of their personal responsibilities as businesses. And I have to say I've been encouraged by that response. And there has been engagement by those meat plants with HSE staff, and our department have been involved. And the feedback to me is that there has been strong cooperation. We're aware of, I think, 6 clusters, 5 in processing plants and 1 in, I think, a deboning plant.
Deputy Carthy.